I'm Seth Shira with EWI, and this brief video will highlight the things that you'll find in the PowerPoint that's attached to the email. We have a client who works in the commercial building industry that makes products for flat roofs, and they are interested in bringing an induction welding system to market for use with their products. They've had a prototype system built and done some application development with that system, so they have a good idea of what the sizing of the system needs to be, but the prototype system that they've had made has a very cumbersome control system. So they're concerned that if they just take that system to market, it's not going to sell well because the control is too difficult to use. So they're seeking a potential supplier that has a dedicated U.S. presence that can provide them with turnkey induction welding systems that they can take to market. Their projected sales are between 50 and 100 units a year, and they would be willing to work with whoever the supplier is to make sure that the control system works properly, or is it in a condition that will be marketable. The equipment supplier would be expected to provide service after the sale, and there's the potential for funding to be available to kind of help develop the system and the controls. So just a quick overview of the system specifications. These are the system specifications of the prototype system that they're currently using. So they know that this, if an induction system, it has this range that they can make good sound welds with it. Don't be limited to this range, however. If you have systems that are outside of this range but will make good sound welds on the application, which we'll talk about in just a moment, feel free to bring those forward also. They're open to new and different ideas. It doesn't have to be exactly what the prototype looks like. They do require that the system be or that the system can use 110 or 220 voltage, and that the system has something on it that will provide an output to tell you what the input voltage is. The HMI needs to be simple. They don't want the control to be too complex. And as you'll see, the system is wearable. It's something that'll be in a backpack that people will take out on the flat roofs with them to do this operation with. So it needs to be less than 20 pounds. It needs to fit into a backpack, and it needs to be able to operate in temperatures that you would see if you're out on the flat roof. So a little bit about the application. So if you look at the cross section that's on the right hand side, this is what a commercial flat roof looks like. Basically, the two main components here are this membrane sheet that goes over the top and these fastener plates that you see here and here. So this is a fastener plate which is screwed down to the top board. Basically, the membrane is laid out over top of it, and an inductor is put over top of the membrane above the plate. The induction cycle is started, which runs for about 3 seconds, and it creates a plastic weld by melting the membrane to the plate. That's basically how they connect these membranes down to the top of the flat roof. This is the size of the fastener plates themselves. They're stamped out of 22 gauge steel, and they're about 3 3/8 of an inch in diameter. So this is just kind of a depiction of an operator actually making some welds. You can see this is the prototype system. It's in a backpack. The power supply is on his back. There's cables that go down that connect to the inductor, which is on a stick. So this allows for the guy just to kind of stand and kind of walk along and make these welds as he goes. Once the welding process lasts about 3 seconds. As soon as the weld's done, they grab one of these other sticks, which just has a big chunk of aluminum on the bottom of it that's a heat sink, set it on top of the weld so that it can cool the weld quickly. Also, along with the inductor on a stick, they want to have an option for a handheld unit to be able to do these welds on walls, or if they have limited access. So just a few business details about this. Again, this client's looking for a turnkey system to be able to buy, and they would like whoever the supplier is to handle the service after the sale. They're estimating that they're going to have about sales of about 50 units in the first year, and then in the years after that, somewhere between 50 and 100 units. The price that they're expecting to pay the supplier for these units is between $3,000 and $5,000. So each unit will include a power supply that has, like a UL or a CE approval, the remote inductor on a stick, that's kind of the standard operation, the associated cables to connect everything together, a backpack with their logo on it, and then packaging, just cardboard boxes and packing and that sort of stuff, so it looks like an industrial product. If you're interested, if you're interested and you'd like to get a few more details, please feel free to contact me. My contact information is here, and it's also in the PowerPoint that's been provided. That PowerPoint has more detail in it than this quick explanation. So thank you very much.